Hey everyone, how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the 2025 GMC Hummer EV SUV. As with all of my reviews, I'm going to cover all of the ins and outs and take this thing on a thorough drive. Of course, there's a whole lot of stuff to cover, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. If you told me back in 2010 that Hummer would one day return as an all-electric, crab-walking 1,000 horsepower super truck with a removable roof, I'd think you were nuts. But here we are. The new GMC Hummer EV is not just a revival, it's a reinvention. With torque that could tow a small planet and tech features that feel like they were lifted from a sci-fi script, this beast blends innovation with futuristic flair and some nostalgia. Hummer's old tagline was "like nothing else," and that's exactly what the new Hummer is. Nothing I have ever driven, whether it be electric, gas, or a combination of both, is comparable. The new Hummer EV is a rolling spectacle, a showcase of advanced propulsion and drivetrain technologies. This is one of those vehicles that doesn't really make much sense on paper as a rational purchase, but that's not what it's all about. It's how it makes you feel. I had a week to spend with this example, and it was one of the most fun weeks of driving I've had. As many of you already know, Hummer is no longer a standalone brand. When GM sought to resurrect the iconic nameplate, they did so by positioning it within GMC's portfolio. It originally launched in pickup form for the 2022 model year. The SUV variant became available for the 2024 model year. Both models are very similar in how they're set up, with the major differences being the wheelbase, battery size, available horsepower, and the fact that one has a bed out back. The Hummer EV SUV makes a bold statement with its rugged, futuristic design that blends military-inspired toughness with modern sophistication. Its wide stance, squared-off proportions, and signature 6-bar grille framed by animated LED lighting give it an unmistakable road presence. The body is purpose-built for off-road dominance, featuring high-clearance front and rear bumpers, tucked-in side steps, and a rear-mounted full-size spare tire that preserves departure angles while enhancing its adventure-ready look. Chunky fender flares and underbody skid plates hint at its trail capability, while the Infiniti roof with removable sky panels adds a dose of open-air freedom. There are unique Easter eggs abound, like the H motif subtly integrated throughout, a tiny rendering of the SUV climbing up the windshield, and American flags on the C-pillars. All of which are playful nods to Hummer's heritage while reinforcing the SUV's identity as a high-tech, all-electric off-road brute. Compared to past Hummer models, the new EV SUV is actually closest in size to the original H1. The H1 had a slightly longer wheelbase, but the EV SUV has a longer overall length. It's also taller and features wider front and rear tracks. Interestingly enough, overall width and ground clearance is identical. Styling-wise, I think it mimics the more compact H3, while the interior somewhat reminds me of the H2. The Hummer EV is built on GM's new BT1 platform, which currently underpins the EV versions of the Chevrolet Silverado and GMC Sierra, as well as the Cadillac Escalade IQ. BT1's architecture is somewhat similar to GM's BEV3 platform, which underpins many GM EV crossovers. It's a skateboard-type design, with the battery pack being placed between the wheels. The BT1 platform is similar in appearance to a traditional body-on-frame design, although it's not specially referred to as such. The coined term is Ultra Body, where the battery pack is installed in the chassis then mated to the body. The bare chassis includes the frame, electric motors, and suspensions. The Hummer EV's architecture provides the framework to integrate advanced technologies for optimal driving range and enables performance and capabilities that would not be possible with a conventional vehicle architecture and propulsion system. Compared to the Hummer EV pickup, the SUV's wheelbase is about 9 inches shorter and the overall length is shorter by 20 inches. For 2025, the SUV is offered in 2 trim levels. The dual-motor 2X starts at $99,045, while the tri-motor 3X starts at $107,145. Both of those prices factor in destination. There are 8 exterior colors to choose from, which are paired against a black roof and metallic black lower cladding, bumpers, and rockers. This example is a 3X trim with only 2 additional options: meteorite metallic paint and a dual-level charge cord. The total MSRP before any incentives or rebates including destination is $108,120. The SUV is currently offered with 6 additional packages. The most significant is the Extreme Off-Road package. Also available for the 2X, it adds unique 18-inch wheels with mud-terrain tires, skid plates to protect the front and rear differentials and battery, electronically locking front and rear differentials with heavy-duty ball-spline half shafts, forward and rearward underbody cameras, a rear D-ring recovery hook, and rocker protectors with assist steps. Some of the a la carte options include a roof cross-rail package, front and rear splash guards, premium carpeted floor mats, and the Infiniti roof with removable, transparent sky panels. The 3X is fitted as standard with gray painted and machine-finished 22 by 9.5 inch alloy wheels. The 2X has the same wheel style but finished completely in gloss black. They're intricately detailed from the shape of the spokes to cast H emblems that form a ring around the center. With the brutal acceleration this thing is capable of, it's no surprise to see their 8-lug wheels compared to the typical 6-lug pattern used on the GMC Yukon. The wheels are wrapped in 35-inch LT 305/55 all-terrain tires. With the Extreme Off-Road package, the wheels are swapped out for black painted 18-inch alloys with machined accents wrapped in LT 305/70 mud-terrain tires. Additional wheels are offered as part of the various optional packages as well as standalone options. The Hummer EV's braking system combines advanced electronic controls and regenerative technologies. The 4-wheel internally ventilated Duralife brake rotors benefit from ferritic nitrocarburizing, which hardens and strengthens the rotor surfaces, helping to reduce corrosion and improve long-term appearance while providing quieter braking with less vibration. The rotors are clamped down by large twin-piston calipers in the front and single-piston calipers in the rear. The parking brake is electronic. It will automatically engage in certain situations, but the button to manually toggle it on or off is on the left side of the dash. Regen on demand and one-pedal driving are standard, which can convert the kinetic energy of the SUV's forward momentum into electricity that's then stored in the battery pack. With the pull of a steering wheel paddle, Regen on demand can slow the SUV to a full stop without pressing the brake pedal. Similarly, one-pedal driving can slow the SUV to a full stop using only the accelerator pedal, providing very fine control. One-pedal driving can be configured with multiple levels to match your preference. Combined, these two features provide flexibility and precision control of how the vehicle slows down in normal driving conditions. Additionally, the SUV's terrain mode uniquely integrates the brake system with one-pedal driving, giving you more precise control while off-roading. Underpinning the Hummer EV is a fully independent suspension, with aluminum knuckles and lower control arms, front and rear stabilizer bars, and 4 corner air springs. The air springs are adaptive, giving the SUV excellent ride quality over even the roughest of roads and a comfortable disposition in daily use. Via buttons in the middle of the drive mode controller, you can raise or lower the suspension as needed. Increased gives you additional clearance over normal. Extract is more for extreme low-speed situations where you need the most clearance possible. Amazingly, it raises the suspension about 6 inches above normal. Entry-exit lowers the suspension to improve the ease of climbing in and out. The Hummer EV rides fantastic and handles pretty good for what it is, as long as you give it the respect it calls for, knowing it's a heavy, off-road oriented beast. A 4-wheel steering system is standard. In its base setting, it allows the rear wheels to steer in phase or out of phase depending on driving speed. At low speeds, the wheels steer out of phase with the front wheels to achieve enhanced agility and maneuverability. At higher speeds, the wheels turn in phase for enhanced stability. This allows for an incredibly tight turning circle of just 35.4 feet. That's 2.2 feet tighter than my Fiat 500 Abarth, which is nuts. The 4-wheel steering system can be turned on or off by a button on the drive mode controller. When off, the turning circle measures 42 feet. A further enhancement of the system is a mode called Crab Walk. It's turned on by pressing and holding the 4-wheel steer button. Crab Walk causes the front and rear wheels to turn in the same direction when steering at low speeds, allowing for even tighter turns and enhanced maneuverability whether in the city or on the trail by allowing lateral side-to-side movement. For the upcoming 2026 models, a new King Crab mode will be added and passed along to older models with an over-the-air update. It'll allow the rear wheels to turn significantly faster than the front, which will result in more maneuverability when navigating tight spaces off-road, moving around obstacles, or rock crawling. No other 4x4 can match this kind of rear wheel agility. The Hummer EV SUV offers impressive off-road proportions, beginning with its 126.7-inch wheelbase and 196.8-inch overall length. Overall width is 86.5 inches minus the mirrors. Height measures 80.9 inches. Max ground clearance is 16 inches. Normal ground clearance is 10.2 inches. The max approach, breakover, and departure angles measure 49.6, 34.4, and 49 degrees respectively. The max water fording depth is 32 inches. Even at the standard ride height, the SUV can drive through water up to 26 inches deep. Suspension travel and track width, front and rear, measures 13 inches and 73.3 inches respectively. The front and rear overhangs, not including the spare tire, measure 34.7 and 35.5 inches respectively. The steering wheel is leather wrapped and features grip bolsters at 10 and 2. The wheel is power adjustable for tilt and reach. Controls on the upper spokes allow quick access to cruise control and driver assistance features, hands-free telephone and voice commands, and instrument cluster settings. Audio controls can be found in the back of the upper spokes. Unlike some of GM's newest offerings, especially in the EV realm, the Hummer EV has a traditional steering column stalk to operate the lights, turn signals, and high beams. Many offerings have relocated those controls digitally via the infotainment system. The 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster has a unique lunar theme, excellent graphics, and day and night modes that mimic the sun's movement over the moon's surface. There's 5 display layouts to choose from, including lunar, clean, sport, off-road, and digital. Depending on the layout, you can personalize what info displays on the left or right side of the display, or both. Each layout offers unique graphics and information readouts. An expansive driver information system is built in, with several additional menus corresponding to audio, navigation, telephone, and settings that are operated by the controls on the right side of the steering wheel. It's a really cool setup. The Hummer EV SUV is offered in 2 powertrain configurations, both of which feature a 20-module battery pack. The dual-motor 2X has an electric motor powering the front wheels and one powering the rear wheels. The 3X is a tri-motor setup. The single-motor front drive unit has a 13.3-to-1 fixed gear ratio that's capable of delivering up to 100% of available torque to one wheel in case traction is lost on the opposite wheel. The two rear motors independently power the rear wheels through a fixed gear ratio of 10.5-to-1, with the capability of varying torque output at each wheel to optimize traction in off-road driving and highway driving conditions. Of course, all four wheels can be fully synchronized for true four-wheel drive propulsion. Electronically locking front and rear differentials are available as part of the Extreme Off-Road package. The 3X produces a whopping 830 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque. The total torque available at the wheels when multiplied through the front and rear drive unit ratios comes out to 11,500 pound-feet as quoted by GM. It's worth noting that the Hummer EV truck produces 1,000 horsepower as a result of a higher capacity 24-module battery pack, although the total torque output is the same as the SUV. The system's pure electric propulsion holds peak torque much longer through a wider speed range than even a diesel engine, which is optimal for off-roading, but also thrilling on-road with its out-of-the-world acceleration that does not seem physically possible. Not only is the Hummer EV huge, but this SUV in particular weighs 8,673 pounds. Placing the vehicle into gear, quote-unquote, is done by first pressing the unlock button on the side of the console shifter. You pull it back for drive, push it forward slightly for neutral, and then all the way forward for reverse. The Hummer EV features several drive modes, most of which are accessed through the rotary dial in the center console. Normal mode is the default, providing a smooth and comfortable ride for daily use. Off-road mode alters the accelerator response, steering, suspension, as well as traction and braking control systems to optimize off-road performance in moderate speeds. It can also be helpful on snow-covered roads. Terrain mode is intended for low-speed driving on rough roads, heavily rutted trails, and other challenging surfaces. It can also be used for precise, high-torque tasks. Torque is emphasized at the expense of speed. Terrain mode alters the same systems as off-road mode, it's just more extreme to eke out the most torque possible at speeds below 50 miles an hour. It makes one-pedal driving more aggressive, which will also hold the vehicle in place on an upward grade when the accelerator isn't being pressed. Tow-haul mode provides more torque to the rear wheels, improving the drive when pulling a trailer or a heavy load, and incorporates a power steering calibration with a more direct feel based on vehicle speed. At lower speeds, steering effort is reduced to aid maneuverability, such as in parking lots or boat ramps. At highway speeds, the steering effort is firmer to minimize yaw moments. It even makes trailer sway control more responsive. Lastly, My Mode allows you to custom tailor acceleration, steering, and suspension feel to your liking. You can also change the motor sound that's played through the interior. There's 3 sound settings: relaxed, normal, and adrenaline. The 3X trim also includes a unique mode called Watts to Freedom, which is basically launch control on steroids. It's activated by pressing the traction control toggle twice. Once you confirm, the air suspension will lower by 2 inches, followed up by a series of sounds and haptic feedback in the driver's seat. The motor sound in Watts to Freedom is unique and plays at a higher volume. With your foot firmly on the brake, it'll command you to press the accelerator to the floor, at which point you'll release the brake and rock it to 60 miles an hour in a blistering 3.5 seconds. When you floor it normally, the rear end squats down and the front rises up like you're in an airplane taking off. It's a crazy feeling to say the least. The thrust this behemoth generates is nuts. With the suspension hunkered down in WTF mode, the chassis is far more planted and controlled feeling, although it still spins the meaty tires, so make sure you have a good grip on the steering wheel. The top speed is electronically limited to 112 miles per hour. One interesting button in the drive mode selector doesn't actually serve a defined purpose at the moment. The icon is an H surrounded by arrows that form a triangle. When pressed, a message pulls up on the instrument cluster that says your mode, your mission, and the email address, epicideas@gmc.com. GMC used this button as a way to collect suggestions from owners on what this button should be used for in the future. At this time, it seems the button will end up being the home for the new upcoming King Crab 4-wheel steer mode. The Hummer EV SUV benefits from 300 kilowatt DC fast charging, with the unique ability to switch its battery pack from its native 400 volts to 800 volts for charging. A disconnect unit and mechanization within the pack enables the battery to switch from parallel to series, allowing it to add nearly 100 miles of range in as little as 10 minutes of charging. The charging system is also designed to support legacy 400-volt charging infrastructure without the need for a converter box or other accessories, allowing the use of a variety of charging stations. At home, 240-volt charging can be done at rates up to 19.2 kilowatts, with a charger that's able to go up to 80 amps, such as the GM Energy Power Shift Level 2 charging station. With the GM Power Up 2 Level 2 charging station, you can charge at a rate of 11.5 kilowatts or 48 amps. That's about a 50% increase in charging capability compared to the available dual-level charge cord set. With my station, which is similar to the GM Power Up 2 setup, I saw a charging rate as high as 18 miles per hour. If you're able to charge at home at 19.2 kilowatts, you can expect a gain of up to 30 miles an hour for the 3X. With the right equipment, the Hummer EV also offers vehicle-to-load and vehicle-to-vehicle power capability. The charging hardware is complemented by in-vehicle and available smartphone apps that help you find available charging locations and can even precondition the battery to get the most efficiency out of an upcoming charging session. The GM estimated max range for the 3X is 312 miles. With the Extreme Off-Road package, it drops to 298 miles. EPA miles per gallon equivalent ratings range between 58 city and 46 highway. The combined average is 52. The Hummer EV's in-vehicle energy assist, also part of the My GMC mobile app, monitors the vehicle's energy usage and sets up a charging schedule, preheating the battery en route to the charging station and learning to drive more efficiently to maximize range and more. It's accessible through the infotainment system and designed with a simple, intuitive interface with easy-to-understand icons. When it comes to towing, the 2X in its base configuration is able to tow up to 10,000 pounds. However, with the Extreme Off-Road package, that figure drops to 7,500 pounds. The 3X, regardless of whether the Extreme Off-Road package is added, is able to tow 7,500 pounds. The EV SUV has a payload rating of 1,300 pounds. A standard in-vehicle trailering app allows you to input custom trailer profiles, test trailer lights, monitor tire pressures, run through trailering checklists, and more. Out back, there's a 2-inch receiver hitch with a 7-pin electrical connector, plus provisions for plugging in auxiliary cameras. The standard trailer brake controller, located to the right of the steering column, integrates with the analog brakes to provide measured braking force signaling to electric-controlled trailer brake systems. One of the more unique things about the Hummer EV is the Infiniti roof, a feature that's standard on both the truck and SUV and all trims. The lightweight polycarbonate panels come opaque as shown on this example, but you can opt for transparent sky panels. The panels are incredibly easy to remove. There's 2 latches per panel. Once released, you pull up on the outer edge and pull out. The panels are very lightweight. Individual storage bags are included to protect the panels, which can neatly store up in the front trunk. You can also opt for a hard carry-in case set for added protection that neatly stacks in the front trunk as well. Additionally, with the front panels removed, you can remove the middle eye bar with a tool set that GMC provides, enabling a full open-top configuration for front passengers. The doors are frameless, another really cool detail, especially when the windows are rolled down. The Hummer EV is so tall that you literally have to climb up into it. It feels like a road-going monster truck. The interior has a rugged and utilitarian feel to it that's highly functional and very roomy. There's no carpet, just rubber floors and stout rubber mats. Premium carpet mats are available. The 3X in particular is offered with 2 interior color themes. Lunar Horizon, shown here, is the combination of jet black and light gray premium leather alternative seating surfaces. The other option, Lunar Shadow, has the same type of upholstery but in jet black and taupe. Both themes feature a plethora of bronze trim accents across the dash, air vents, center console, steering wheel, and doors. The front seats are very comfortable, featuring 12-way power adjustments, including 4-way power lumbar. You have 45.6 inches of legroom and 42.5 inches of headroom. Heated and ventilated front seats are standard, as is a heated steering wheel. The driver's seat also has memory presets. Despite how big and tech-heavy the interior is, it's shockingly ergonomic and user-friendly. Perhaps the biggest downside of the interior is the quality of the materials don't necessarily reflect a 6-figure vehicle. It looks great, but there's a lot of bare and painted plastics. It's certainly geared more towards ruggedness rather than luxury. That's not to say the interior isn't nice, though. During my week of driving, I thought the interior was quiet and well put together. Wind noises was minimal, and I didn't notice any glaring rattles. Storage space is plentiful. The console has 3 covered compartments and an open spot for stowing something underneath. The front compartment has a wireless phone charger plus USB-A and C outlets. There's 2 cup holders to the right of the shifter. The large compartment at the rear has a removable tray, an LED light, and a 12-volt power outlet. The lower door panels have wide, sectioned pockets, and the glove box offers decent space. My favorite thing about the interior are all of the buttons, toggles, and knobs. In an increasingly digital world, I'm personally tired of all the touchscreen interfaces that are all-encompassing, as they end up being more distracting for even the most basic tasks for the sake of having a clean design. The Hummer EV's physical controls allow for easier operation, especially during off-road adventures. This is especially true for the center stack. A tri-zone climate control system is standard, allowing independent adjustments for the driver, front passenger, and rear passengers. The toggles are some of the best feeling controls I've used in quite some time, and some of them serve multiple functions. It's the best of both worlds, traditional functionality with modern flair. The center of the dashboard features a large 13.4-inch central touchscreen that utilizes Epic Games' Unreal Engine to render high-quality 3D graphics, providing a visually engaging interface that displays vehicle diagnostics and off-road data in real time. Along with the configurable 12.3-inch instrument cluster, they provide incredible levels of personalization and intuitive engagement, starting the moment you slide behind the wheel, close the door, and the screens come to life with unique animations. A powerful 14-speaker Bose audio system is standard, featuring CenterPoint surround sound technology that delivers immersive sound throughout the cabin. The personalization options for the infotainment system allow you the ability to prioritize views and even have 2 areas of information. For example, you can display navigation and trailering details simultaneously with the option to prioritize one over the other. You can also choose full screen navigation, audio, vehicle information, and more. It's all about enabling a more personalized experience that enhances comfort and convenience. The infotainment system integrates Google built-in, allowing seamless access to Google Assistant, Google Maps, and the Google Play Store. With Google Assistant, you can use your voice to get directions, play your favorite podcasts, control vehicle functions, and more, so you can keep your hands on the wheel and eyes on the road. Google built-in is compatible with both Apple and Android devices, working with and complementing existing connectivity features such as wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as Amazon Alexa. Additional media features include AM/FM radio, Sirius XM with 360L, Bluetooth audio streaming, USB connectivity, and Google News. A unique feature is the My GMC Studio app, which allows you to stream media while parked, such as Hulu. When streaming, the audio is played through the speakers. A Wi-Fi hotspot is also standard. The Hummer EV SUV comes standard with a wide array of advanced driver assist technologies. In addition to standard adaptive cruise control, Super Cruise capability with 3 years of service comes standard and is available on more than 200,000 miles of compatible roads in the US and Canada. Super Cruise is a hands-free driver assistance system. It uses 2 advanced technologies, a driver attention system and precision LiDAR map data. Enhancements to Super Cruise in recent time include performance and ease of use updates, including richer map information, improved software controls, and user interface improvements. Additional standard driver assistance features include enhanced automatic emergency braking, enhanced automatic park assist, a following distance indicator, forward collision alert, front pedestrian braking, rear cross traffic alert, rear pedestrian alert, rear seat reminder, reverse automatic braking, trailer side blind zone alert, and a safety alert seat. The latter uses left, right, or both side driver's seat vibration pulses to help you detect and identify the direction of potential issues. You can also switch to beeping crash avoidance alerts. Bundled with Super Cruise is 3 years of digital services by OnStar. OnStar's standard core services include remote commands, built-in voice assistance, real-time traffic and navigation, and automatic crash response. Enhanced automatic park assist can automatically steer, brake, and shift gears to park the vehicle into a dedicated parallel or perpendicular parking space. It can also help you unpark. An HD surround vision camera system is standard, as is a rear camera mirror with washer. As I mentioned earlier, forward and rearward facing underbody cameras are available, which include washers and lens protectors. An auxiliary camera is available too, which can provide additional views such as transparent trailer view, rear trailer view, or inside trailer view depending on camera installation. A couple other standout features include buckle to drive and teen driver. Standard tire pressure monitoring with tire fill alert monitors the pressure in each tire and alerts you if there's a low pressure condition in one or more of the tires. It also provides visual and audible alerts outside the vehicle when inflating an underinflated tire to the recommended tire pressure. There's 4 airbags, including frontal airbags and seat-mounted side impact airbags for the driver and front passenger, as well as front seatbelt pretensioners. The passenger compartment is also protected using high-strength steel in the pillars, rocker panels, door reinforcement beams, and floor structure. Additionally, the Hummer EV SUV comes standard with a 5-year, 60,000-mile roadside assistance program and an 8-year, 100,000-mile towing program. 3 years of Mobile Service Plus offers service conveniences that provide vehicle service on your terms with the option of mobile service, pickup and delivery, or a loaner with drop-off. The second row seat in the Hummer EV SUV mirrors that of the truck, offering a roomy and accommodating space for 3 adults. The door glass and all of the glass at the rear is tinted. Grab handles on the B-pillars assist with entry and exit. Once you're seated, you'll be able to really see just how expansive the interior is. Rear passengers have 39 inches of legroom and 38.4 inches of headroom. The seat backs are able to be reclined via the handles next to the outside headrests. The upholstery on the seats and door panels are the same leather alternative upholsteries used in the front. Again, it's a very utilitarian feel, but the seat is pretty comfortable. The headrest can be raised and lowered. The middle one is more compact, so when it's not in use, it allows for better rearward visibility. In the back of the center console, you have the independent climate controls for the rear seat, including fan, temperature, and zone adjustments, plus an automatic setting. The outboard seats also come standard with 3-stage heating. Beneath, there's 2 adjustable air vents, USB-A and C charge outlets, and a storage pocket. At the very bottom of the console is a 120-volt AC power outlet. The door panels have large storage pockets at the bottom and bottle holders positioned higher up for easier access. When no one is sitting in the middle, there's a pull-down armrest that can be used and incorporates 2 cup holders. Additional storage can be found via the seat back pockets. Overhead, there's LED lighting. A unique feature of the Hummer EV is the front trunk, which GMC calls the e-trunk. The hood, if you will, is fully powered. It can be opened from within the interior, the key fob, or a button underneath the grille. It offers 11.3 cubic feet of additional storage space that's easy to clean. There's 4 cargo tie-downs that are rated to hold up to 110 pounds. On the right side, there's an LED cargo light, a 12-volt DC power outlet, and a glow-in-the-dark safety release button. Everything on either side of the e-trunk is covered by panels. The windshield washer fluid reservoir is on the driver's side panel. Out back, there's a standard powered swing gate in place of a traditional lift gate. It's able to be programmed to limit the overall opening width if needed, especially in areas where there might not be sufficient enough clearance around the rear of the vehicle. The full-size spare tire is obviously mounted to the back. Operating the swing gate can be done from the front seat, the key fob, or by the button beneath the driver's side taillight. The swing gate's window is able to be lowered by the touch of a button in the front overhead console. It also has an anti-pinch feature, so if an obstruction is detected, it'll automatically auto-reverse. For being such a large vehicle, the trunk is not as cavernous as you might think. Behind the second row seat, you have 35.9 cubic feet of cargo space, which is about half of what you'd get in a GMC Yukon and nearly 6 cubic feet less than the new GMC Acadia. The second row seat can be easily folded from the trunk via the buttons on the right side panel. The seat is a 60-40 split, so you can fold a portion or all of it depending on your hauling needs. With everything folded flat, you have a total of 81.8 cubic feet. Underneath the trunk floor, which also features a topographical map of the Sea of Tranquility, there's additional storage compartments for smaller items. The jack is stored behind a pull-out section of the right side panel. Additional trunk amenities include an open storage pocket on the left side panel, plus an AC power outlet, and cargo tie-down hooks around the floor perimeter. Provisions are included for an available cargo privacy cover and cargo net. There's LED trunk lighting up in the headliner. The metal threshold plate has a neat styling feature that echoes the grille, while the Hummer EV script is embossed on the backside of the swing gate. Well everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like down below because it really helps the videos a lot. And if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing that as well and make sure those notifications are on. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.